Well, here we go. I'm live. Who'd have thunk it? Let's have a look on the phone side of things. If anyone's in. I don't mind putting up the chat thingy. Not a problem. Let's go to my channel. Why gone to studio? What have you done that for? Do. Got a song stuck in my head. Bear with me, everyone. There's somebody's there. 3 people are in. Yeah, hey. All right, we might get a bit of feedback. Bear with me, everyone. Paused. Hey guys. Frederick, Jason, Mark, Jimmy. Hello guys. Hope you are well. Let's turn that volume down and set that going again. Just doing a quick evening video. Which really felt like it, really. Shall I put the link up if I can remember how to do it? Invite. There we go. Copy. Copied it already. Okay. Going to the live thingy bob. Yes, much better. Thank you, Jason. Still not 100%, but I am better. There we go. There's the link. If anybody would like to jump up and say hello, I thought I'd do a quick video. I have film in the can, which I am. Well, I finished editing the video from today and a couple of days ago. Yeah, I can't really. I don't really want to say what I've done, apart from having to get new tires, which unfortunately dented my NEC balance, which is unfortunate. But tires are important. We need them, whether we like it or not. Tires are needed. In the centre of the tread. Hey, Belle. There we go.
Hey, how you doing?
Not too bad. Well,
yeah, let me turn this off.
If you think about tires, not the happiest person in the world. In the centre of the treads, if you look at the tire dead on and you look in between the treads, there was cracks, big cratery cracks. So, yeah, it's needed. What else is it I need to do? Oh yes, I have. Jason, you know Cortinas, don't you? Yes, you do. You know Cortinas. Well, where you've got the headlights surround and you've got a little headlight adjusters. You've got little plastic lugs and they clip into the metal, and you just can't get them anymore. So I've found somebody who can 3D print them, and I'm just waiting for him. And I just hope he gets it done in time. I've got 2 weeks left.
If you weren't so far away, I'd print them for you.
A few friends of mine said, "Oh yeah, we could do it," but my nearest friend who's got a 3D printer is in Bournemouth, and that's quite a drive from here, quite a distance.
I just mailed a bunch of little clips that I made for my little brother.
Yeah.
Just day before yesterday. And I think I paid $9 just to ship them here.
The guy
ship them there, it'd be easier to buy you a car.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. No, the guy basically said to me, he'd have to charge me for 3D rendering it and then charge me for printing. But he said 1 clip is £10, but 4 is £20. So it's like, go for the 4. And what I'm going to say to him is, keep the design on file.
See that?
Yeah.
You know how much that cost?
No.
That's a whole roll, and it's name brand. Hatchbox is the good stuff. You know how much that whole roll costs? $16.
16. Wow.
Yeah, and that's 2.2 pounds. It's 1 kilogram of.
Mark, yeah, it's definitely dry rot.
3D stuff, you know.
Right, is that ABS?
I don't know. That one is PLA.
I've heard of PLA.
PLA is okay. It doesn't take the temperature as well. That's
Okay,
ABS.
Yeah, the guy said to me it needs to be flexible, but at the same time able to withstand heat changes.
You ever play with Legos?
Yes.
They're made of ABS.
Okay. Yeah, they are kind of slightly flexible. Well, the ones that I remember of anyway. Skip, the Kawasaki, I was going to talk about that. After the NEC, I am going to start doing a bit of work with the Kawasaki. The engine needs to be bolted in correctly. It's not bolted in fully. So that will be happening. I'll be putting all the spacers back in, and I can put the main stand back on, and I can start putting other things on it as well. Crash tester, FPV.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, I tell you, they do take a long time to print.
16
but it's
pounds
not that bad.
900 in electricity to print. Oh my god.
No, they're not that bad.
No,
but like if I were to print, well, here, let me grab something I printed.
Are you new here, Crash Test? I haven't seen your name before. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you for jumping in.
John Clem's favorite.
Oh, cool.
He was originally red. I painted him.
Oh wow.
That took 5.5 hours to printing.
It does kind of like resemble John Clem a bit, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and he always wears the yellow shirt with the overalls.
Yeah.
So I had to make that just so I could go like this.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, Crash Test. Yeah, saying about electricity being really bad. It's like, do you charge up your electric car or do you eat dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the Kawasaki, more stuff with the Kawasaki is coming. So yeah, I think it was at the last video I mentioned. I did mention I was going to do a bit of work on the bikes. I've got some new parts for the little Yamaha as well, and that's important. The little Yamaha is very important. It's 10 years this year since my friend passed away. Hey, Sparky, welcome. So there are a few things I want to do to that bike. I've got I can actually show you. There was a part I was after for the little Yamaha, the RS125DX. Now, this part I've been looking for 10 years. The last time I saw one of these parts, it was attached to a carburetor, and it was £50. It came with a Jubilee clip, or what do you call these in the States?
Hose clamps?
Yeah, we call them Jubilee clips. Don't know why.
Well, that's probably as good a name because they're hose clamps, but they very rarely go on what's actually a hose.
Yeah. Well, this tube, is what I was looking for a decade. And when it was attached to the carburetor that I saw on eBay about 4 years ago, it was £50.
Again, another thing you could 3D print.
That'd take 2 hours to print. Only if you can find one to use as a demo.
No, it's if you could give me the curve, basically give me where each hole ends, and the diameter or circumference or whatever of the hole, it'd be done and done. It'd take a couple hours.
Well, it'd
take 5 minutes to make the print, to create the file, and
it is quite. It's flexible, so I don't think you can do that with 3D printing.
I can't do rubber.
No, it is rubber. Yeah. But it came with one Jubilee clip for some strange reason, when it should have 2, one at either end. But I can buy more of these. They're not exactly cheap, expensive.
Sparky's saying he's got a 300-pound electric bill. He's just doing
Wow.
that to make me jealous.
You know, my electricity bill each month is like £100.
I
Then
hate you
again, it's
guys.
just me. It's just me and a cat. You know,
I hate you
it's
guys.
not me and a family. If you got a family, you can have more energy usage.
Yeah. Or if you're like me and the whole world's plugged in.
Yeah. Well, I try not to plug too many things in at once. Yambits, yes, I've used those before Crash Test. I haven't been on their site for a long time, actually. The last time I looked on a bike site, Yambits didn't have that at all. I looked on Yambit and I looked on CMSNL as well. But CMSNL, you've got a very high import cost now because obviously, Brexit happened. But Yambits, I'm going to have to look again on their website. I've not been on there for ages. So
Hey,
yeah,
2 weeks ago on our Sunday lives, I gave away donuts.
yeah.
When I hit the great
Oh
1,000
yeah, you said about
subscribers,
that. Yeah.
and oh, it was so funny because Tim Palmer in Scotland won, and when
Oh yeah.
it took me 4 hours to figure out how to get donuts to him in Scotland.
No way.
When I finally sent them, my wife saw the bill for like 30 pounds. I
Wow.
got good donuts,
Yeah.
I got like the deluxe package and had them delivered and all that.
Nice.
And
Oh
well, my wife saw the bill
yeah.
and thought it was fraud and put in a fraud alert and canceled my credit card.
Oh no. That's a little unfortunate.
I said, wait, what? I said, no, that was on purpose. That was for Tim. And she says,
Ah.
who's Tim? And I said, he's one of the guys in Scotland. She says, oh, one of your UK buddies. And I said, yeah, but I bought him donuts. She says, no, you didn't. She
Skik,
says,
what is that? Master. I can't pronounce that.
Maserati Iraq SS. I see Maserati.
Yeah, I see that. Unless it's just the two words put together. SS USA import hard sell. Maserati.
So are left-hand drive cars unusual over there?
Oh, you don't see them that often, but you do see them now and again.
But do they have a cool factor?
Yeah, they kind of do.
That's
Yeah.
right-hand
Hey,
drives.
Mini.
Right-hand drives here have a cool factor to them.
Yeah. Maserati Mayak. SS import.
Maserati Maroc.
Marak. Oh,
Yeah.
hang on. They had one of those on Top Gear. Skik, I don't know what country you're in, but over here they had obviously Top Gear. Everyone's heard of Top Gear. They had a Marak on Top Gear SS many years ago, but it was a fake SS. Somebody had stuck SS badges on it. That was hilarious. And Clarkson ended up driving it.
I had a Monte Carlo SS, and I didn't know it was an SS when I bought it. But when I opened the trunk up and started digging through all the boxes that were in the trunk when I bought it, I found all the SS badges for the car.
Oh wow, cool.
I knew it had the big engine,
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
but I didn't know anything else about it. And for what little I paid for it, it was worth it just for the motor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, guys, this was just basically. I thought I'd just throw up a live chat, see who's around.
Oh, the
Oh,
Maroc's a cool
Warrington.
car.
Okay, yeah. Oh, no worries. CMSNL. When I first heard of that, where I live, there's a bike shop called CMS, and it's called Cornish Motorcycles. Or, yeah, they just call it Cornish Motorcycles, but when you got NL on the end, you think Cornish Motorcycles NL, and I thought Northern something, and then somebody told me that it's over in Europe.
It's a
I was
country
like, well,
code.
they can't have a Cornish Motorcycles over there. So I got slightly confused at that. But yeah, you've got with CMSNL, you've really got to filter through stuff. And if I'm looking stuff for the RS125, you've got to look through RS100 stuff because it's kind of like an umbrella description. So you go through that, and then you can find other things underneath it. But to be perfectly honest with you, for Yamaha stuff, I'd rather go with Yambits. I'm going to have to look through their website again. It's been such a long time since I'd seen that site. I completely forgot about it.
Yambit sounds like a restaurant for somebody who really likes the yams.
Yeah.
Yambits.
Oh yeah. True. Yeah. I'd forgotten about Yambits. I will look at them. I'm not staying up for too long, guys. It's only until the end of the hour. I just wanted to get a chat up. And yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I put a video out, so I was kind of like, yeah, chat, say hello to people if anyone wants to come up and ask anything or whatever. So
Yeah,
if you've
there's
got
a
any
link up there for you
questions,
too.
oh yeah, cool, thanks.
Oh, it won't highlight for me because I'm not a moderator.
You won't? Why not?
No, that's okay.
Hang
I know
on.
how you are.
Oh, okay.
Be mean to me.
I was just going to say there is if you guys you like classic cars, people in the chat like classic cars. If you haven't seen, there's a new channel I found called the Passenger Seat Podcast, and it's this girl called Becca, and she does a podcast from her 1950 no 1968 Morris Minor, and she can do a podcast up to like an hour in her car, and it's just really interesting to you don't even need to watch YouTube, you can just listen to it. It's just nice listening to someone chatting about cars. Evening Pingu, I didn't know you were subscribed. Hello, thank you for jumping on. But yeah, what I might do, I'll grab her link and I'll post it. It's her car is really cool, and I only recently found the channel in the last couple of weeks. Passenger Seat Podcast. She's currently got 660 subscribers, and really she should have more than she does. Copy. Let's post it there. Yeah, so if you like your classic cars and talking about classic cars and discussing stuff, jump over there and tell her I sent you, please.
Yeah, Simone, if you want to do the lazy way, when you invite people into the chat, just go up to the title bar in StreamYard.
Yeah.
And cut and paste that and put it in there. That's the same link. On your like up at the top of your browser where it says StreamYard / blah blah blah.
Yeah.
In this case, 7VPCYX6U6R.
Oh, Frederick.
Oh, Simone.
Hey, Frederick. Yeah, the Passenger Seat
Hello,
Podcast
Belle.
is there. Yeah. How are you doing, Frederick?
Oh, just getting over this cold. That's why I sound so.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And I really got sick, but yeah, you just mentioned Morris Minor. Now, one of the channels that I subscribe to, All Things Alex. I don't know if you watched his latest.
I did.
You did.
He said,
oh,
yeah,
yes.
he said he was going to get another British Leyland car that wasn't very successful, and it's like
which he did.
Ambassador. Ambassador just came to my head. It's like
an yes,
yeah,
and an Austrian ambassador. I hope that his because he bought a 1960 Morris Minor that was, oh boy, was in rough shape.
rotten as a pear. It was rotten as a pear. Such a shame.
It needed, and he got it running, which
yes,
I
did,
applaud his efforts. So yeah, he moved. I think he sold it, and from that's when he got the ambassador. And I thought, oh well, if he needs any help, he should look at Agatha and anything. Rick's friend Lee has.
Yeah, very true.
Princess.
I was thinking
and a
that.
few. Actually, his main car is an Austin Ambassador, and I believe
yeah, the Mighty White.
Ian took his ambassador out for a test drive. I believe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure,
yeah.
but
There's actually more ambassadors on YouTube than I realized, and considering they're so rare, I mean, they're only made for what, 2 or 3 years?
I think so.
Mm.
Yes.
And they're actually quite rare. So to see
Right.
quite a few, I mean, there was one on, there was a blue one. Oh, I've forgotten the chap's name. He's quite tall. He's got a big ginger beard. Um, Tasty Classics. If you haven't seen Tasty Classics, he's
Right.
really funny. But what he does is he finds old cars and he gets them running and he puts them up for sale.
Right.
And he does such a good job. And he found a blue Austin Ambassador with the A missing, so it was an ambassador. But yeah, he got the car running, and he put it on. He put it on. I think he put it on Facebook Marketplace. I best not laugh too much. I've got a horrible cold sore from when I was ill.
Well, another one of the channels you subscribed, the young gentleman has he loves his Jaguar XJ.
Oh, that is Floydian Gray, the Floydian
Yes.
Circle. Yeah.
Yes.
Really nice young man.
Yes.
Really presents his stuff really well.
I subscribed on your recommendation. I watched one of his he was the episode that I watched, he was changing the gear shift knob.
Yeah.
And I started watching it and I really liked him. So I subscribed. So thank you, Simone. You're welcome.
I always try and share people, especially if they've got a low number of subscribers and they really should have more.
Right.
You know, if you haven't seen his series that he did on his Talbot Alpine called Annie the Alpine.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, it's from a couple of years ago. I'm going to put my headphones on. One moment. Crash Test. I did watch Sarah Untuned. And I watch Vice Grip now and again. Not heard of Pole Barn though.
Sorry. Give you 9 guesses who was calling.
Sorry?
Said I'll give you 9 guesses who was calling.
No idea.
And now, remind you, I've been married for 20 years.
Oh, okay. Yeah, your other half, your significant other.
Yeah, the only one that won't get me like killed in my sleep if that ringtone's on her name. You got to be nice to people that see you asleep.
If you're wondering why I'm drinking tea with a straw, cold sore. No, I need to do some more work on the Cortina. But it's knowing what to do. The engine's not running quite right. I have seen Alex's assets is brilliant. Yes. I need to adjust my carburetor.
You know, that's like a non-computer car.
Yeah.
If she's missing, adjust the L screw on the carburetor.
Yeah.
A nickel says if it's missing, it's running too rich.
I think it was running too rich, so I turned the mixture screw in slightly. Hey John, sorry I missed you earlier. Thanks for dropping in.
Just tighten her in. It's like turn her in until you hear it start to idle way up.
Yeah.
And you'll just hear that smoothness find its way, you know. You'll find it just. It's I always say it's like I tune halfway with my ear and halfway with my heart.
Yeah.
Because it's just like my heart feels it. It's like, oh, that feels good right there. That motor sounds happy.
The only awkward thing is that it's got an auto choke, and I don't like the auto choke.
Why?
So, I think it would run better if I had a manual choke.
What are you gonna do? Put a big old lever on the dashboard?
It's already one there.
Really?
Yeah. There's already a lever on the side of the.
Bill, you'd be surprised how many cars in the UK have manual chokes. I was surprised.
Yeah.
Even up
Really?
until the late 80s and whatnot, cars, especially British cars like, well, even Nissan, but mostly British cars like Austin Rover have using a carburetor have a manual choke, and that's like in here in the U.S. all
Here,
all
here.
the are all the chokes in our carburetors have always been auto choke.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like if you get into an old hot rod, you've usually got what they call a thermal choke.
That's how mine works.
Yeah, it's a little box on the side, and it's got a spring on it,
Yeah.
and it pulls the lever slowly. I'll tell you, a thermal choke never fails.
But the thermal one's slower because you have to wait for the engine to warm up before it actuates.
Right.
But well,
Whereas
it'll
the
partially,
manual one, you can just manually control it.
yeah, but it'll partially open. And it was
Yeah,
engineers that designed how big that spring's got to be, you know?
Yeah. Nitro Sylvia, yes, Minnie, I watch Nitro Sylvia. He's got a green SD1 he's working on at the moment, and I
Yeah,
really
I
like
just
that
saw
car.
that, Simone, that
Yeah.
popped up.
Yeah, Nitro Sylvia is good at what he does. He really knows the ins and outs. Has he posted a new one? No, I haven't seen one. A couple of days ago, I think I watched his most recent. Oh, James. I didn't know his name was James. I just kept on calling him Nitro. You kind of get used to people's channel names and you forget what their actual names are half the time. Skip. No.
Apparently, Dirt Rider is claiming you for his.
Yeah, he does that frequently. I don't mind. Skik, no, sorry. That was my best friend's bike and he died 10 years ago this month. And I always said I'd rebuild it for him, even though he's not here. And I'm getting there. I haven't
Crash
done.
Test FPV says it's illegal to sell a Yamaha. No, it's not illegal to sell a Yamaha, but it is illegal to sell a Ford Pinto. That's considered assault.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Yes.
Is it the same engine though as the Pinto we have here?
Do yours
I
go up
wonder.
in flames if somebody sneezes that direction?
No.
Oh, then it's probably different.
Well, I think when they were first introduced, from I think 1971 to 73, they used just a 1.6 1600 and a 2000 engine. So I'm thinking they could be Pinto engines.
It could be Pinto engine. Yeah, named
Right.
after so the car was named after the engine. Maybe.
But
Yes, it could be. I don't know. You'd have to go into the history of Ford, how that all came about.
How that Ford Pinto car got released, I don't know.
it was a great idea. It really was. The idea was fantastic. It was the execution that failed.
Yeah. I've seen some YouTube videos where people actually saved an actual Pinto. There was one, somebody found a station wagon and saved it and restored it. And to be honest with you, I think the station wagon would have been slightly safer than the saloon.
I believe so because of the way the
Slightly longer, the fuel tank would have been away from the back end.
The placement of the fuel, where the fuel goes in, the fuel filler.
Yeah.
That thing. I have a story to tell you. This has got to be over 50 years ago. We had just bought a Ford full-size station wagon, and I remember the rear window of the station wagon was electric, wouldn't go down, so we had to bring it to the dealer to have it repaired. And the loaner car was, you guess, a Ford Pinto. Mind you, there's 5 of us children in the family. So imagine having 5 small children in this 4-seater Ford Pinto. And I remember, oh God, I think there were 2 people in the front passenger seat. And I think 3 of us might have been in the back seat. And I remember all these cars, because we were on the what we call the highway, left parkway, which you would consider a carriageway, over there. All these cars were surrounding us. My mother's driving this Ford Pinto, not knowing the reputation about how dangerous it was at the time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that was it. I think we had it once or twice. Well, I think the one time my mother didn't use it, but the one time I remember we had to go to the dealership and we all had to go into the Ford Pinto to pick it up. So,
You know, the worst car I've ever had, bar none, and the slowest car I ever had was a Carmen Ghia.
Oh yeah, they weren't particularly quick.
It's like on
Yeah.
the Pinto, it says 0 to 60 time, and it says eventually. On the Carmen Ghia, the 0 to 60 time, in little letters, it says downhill.
Yeah, yeah. That's a bit like a Reliant Robin, maybe. John, I quite like the Ford Capri. What engine size did you have in that? A friend of mine's got a Ford Capri with a 2.8 litre injection, but I think that is a Cologne engine. Yeah, they did tend to rust.
Yeah. I hear the engine sizes in the UK, and I always think, it's like my little Honda's got a 2-liter turbo,
Mm.
and I think, I wouldn't have bought that car without the turbo because that 2-liter was just annoying. You know?
Yeah. We basically had engines that were gutless. Every other country in the world got bigger and more powerful engines than we did.
Yeah.
I never really understood why. Is it British people are too straight-laced?
Yeah, too proper.
Yeah. And then you got then you get the boy racers who tune their engines up, and then they get arrested because their engine's too loud or they're just driving around too quickly.
I always wondered.
We have that over here too.
I've watched, like, when you do a drive around video, I never miss those. I love drive around videos. But I see the roads you drive around on.
Pinto.
That's just it seems like, how fast could you possibly go?
Yeah.
Breaking 100 would be hard.
It would be unless you're on the motorway. John, I think 3 litre. The only Ford 3 litre I know that was released in the UK was a Mark IV Cortina, and it was a 3 litre S. But I don't know that somebody could have put that engine in it. Don't know. I don't know if there was ever a Capri 3 litre, but there could be. I could be wrong. So, trying to think. Anyone got any questions about the fleet and anything that's coming up? Because I am hoping, obviously, to do some filming from the NEC.
Yeah, that should be interesting, Simone. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so am I. But I'm also kind of panicking a bit. I'm thinking about, should I or should I not get the engine tuned up before I go so it's running smoothly?
Yeah, the money that you will save in fuel will pay for the tune-up.
Yeah, and it's about £80 to get the engine tuned, just basic tuning, nothing crazy.
Why don't you just do it yourself?
I might mess it up.
No, on an old motor, you can't mess up a tune-up. You just can't mess up a tune-up. It's the adjustments on the carburetor aren't part of a normal tune-up.
I was thinking like the tappets and everything.
Oh, valve train and everything?
Yeah.
They'll do that for £80?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd let them do it. It's just that's too much
work.
Yeah, I just want to make sure everything's right and I don't want to break anything. Are you going in November, Minnie? It is worth it. If you're going for more than one day, you will see more. But if you're going for one day, be prepared to run around like a headless chicken. There is so much to do, so much to see. You'll be lucky if you see everything. Count the turns in on the air screw before you start, so you can pull it out.
Yeah, it's whenever you do a carburetor adjustment. I always assume that, but whenever you do a carburetor adjustment, you mark your wrench and go all the way in and then all the way back to where you started, so you know where your starting point is, and then start the motor and start tuning, so that if you screw it up entirely, and do it with both screws, If you screw it up entirely, then you can go home.
Yeah. There is a mixture screw and you got the tick over screw. Now, when I set the mixture screw the first time, I don't think it was right by the book. So
the book only gives you a starting point. Every carburetor is going to be different, and every 500 feet of elevation, you're going to want to adjust.
Mm.
For its
that is
normal
very true,
with a
actually.
car
Yeah, I think I might have to go and do that, actually.
You'll hear people talk about that for weed eaters and chainsaws and stuff, saying,
Mm.
"Oh no, it's you have to take into consideration what elevation the person buying it's running it at and all this." And they start to get into these big complicated things and say, "Guys, I promise nobody in Texas is buying a chainsaw and heading into the mountains. There are no mountains for 500 miles any direction."
Dirt Rider, I'm not sure how to answer that question. I'm confused.
I'm not sure that is a question.
Mm.
That's probably like me typing. I miss one letter and it changes the whole sentence.
Yeah. As a carb wears, it pulls more air from the places, so you'll need to richen the mixture.
Yeah.
The mixture was rich already. Excuse me. The spark plugs were black, and I don't think they were firing correctly.
Have you checked your valve seals?
No.
Okay.
Not recently.
It's every valve, and especially if you've got a straight up motor, a straight 4 or a straight 6 or whatever. Every valve has a little seat on it, basically a little rubber thing that sits on top.
Yeah, valve stem seal. Yeah.
Yeah. And those will dump oil into your pistons and turn your plugs black, even if they shouldn't be.
Oh yeah, they will. Yeah. I am going to buy a set of those new ones because I don't think it's had new ones in a very long time.
I bought an old Chevy, a Corvette, and when I bought it, a giveaway for valve seals is when it starts, it smokes for a second, and then the smoke goes away. That just means that it's over time, it's dripping in when it's sitting still.
Yeah, my Cortina is constantly chucking out fumes.
Constantly?
Constantly. I've got a sneaking suspicion that might be piston rings.
Yeah, I'd worry about that too. 2 things: piston rings, or if it's really dark smoke, you're pouring gas by the gallon into it.
I wouldn't say it was constantly dark smoke.
If it's white smoke?
No.
No, if it's dark smoke, it's probably a carburetor thing, and that's probably why it's not running good.
Yeah. Well, for £80, this guy's going to tune it for me, but he said to me he's going to get a price for a manual choke conversion kit, but I guarantee you that's going to be on the sharp side of £50, higher price of that. Breather clear. I think so. Crash test. I think the breather's clear.
Yeah, your
Is that
PCV
the one
valve.
I think that's the
little
one on the
thing
side
in
of
the
the
valve
engine.
cover that runs up to the carburetor. You might not have one if you're in the 70s.
Yeah, 1970s.
You might have
engine.
a breather cap.
There's a can on the side of the engine.
Yeah. If that gets completely clogged, the pressure will build up in the crankcase and it'll allow more oil to get by the rings.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm about to get that off and have a look at it. There is a video on my channel when I bought one on eBay, cleaned it all up, resprayed it, painted it up and everything, nice and shiny, bolted it in, put a brand new Motorcraft seal in it, and it's got a pipe that comes from the top into the carburetor.
Yeah. That's the PCV. It should have a little thing that the hose plugs into that goes into the hole.
Yeah.
That's a check valve.
Yeah. Somebody said to me it should be like a bearing in there or something, but there's nothing in there. There's just a flat blade of metal coming out the bottom.
Check valve. Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to get that off and have a look. And if it is filthy, if it's all clogged up, then I'll have to give it a clean.
Carb spray. Yep.
Yeah. I best shut up or I'll end up getting dirty. Yeah. There's got more chance of me getting dirty. Yeah. I don't mind doing that. I don't mind getting filthy. It's quite a bit of fun to do. I like just working on stuff and trying to fix things.
You know, I actually did a 25-year-old edger a couple days ago
Mm.
and got dust on me, and that was it. That's how clean it was.
Wow.
It would sat in a warehouse for 20 years.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
And what we call in Texas is there's a couple of kinds of warehouses because it gets god awful hot in the summer. So we have air climate controlled warehouses, what they call dry storage.
Yeah.
And somebody put this thing in dry storage for 20 years.
Wow.
I found it, and it's like a time machine.
Yeah.
Cool. That is pretty cool. Hmm.
Yeah, I say I prefer to work on 2 strokes, but when I run into one of those, I can't pass it up. Yeah.
If memory serves me, I think mine was a 2-liter Pinter originally, then a V6 Cologne. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I've seen a 2.8 V6 Cologne in a Cortina. That's about 4 or 5 years ago. There was a car show here. Oh, cheers, Minnie. Thanks for dropping in. Have a good evening. Oh, cool. Finish on the car for tomorrow. Oh, good luck. You off to a show or something? Is it a mini show? I hope. Oh dear. Right. Well, we're coming up to, how long have we been going?
Yeah, you said you were leaving 12 minutes ago.
Yeah, I was supposed to. Yeah.
About
I've been
40, I
going
have
like
42 minutes.
40. We'll go up to 45 minutes and we'll call it a day.
Sounds good.
I've got there's another YouTuber going up doing a live chat soon called Boaty.
Yes.
Boaty's
Yes.
World.
I was going to mention Project Nigel, that he just
Yeah.
got a Rover 420 Tourer.
Yes, I
And
like the Tourer.
yes, with some accident damage.
Yeah.
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 He did some work. It looks excellent.
Yeah, he did a
Actually,
good job fixing the front of that.
Someone had, maybe it was Nitro Sylvia, had one in that green, the British racing green, with the seats also look familiar as well. The whole vehicle looks familiar to me. But he's really happy about that. So he said he's going to be keeping it. I think it's a great car. I love estates, your estates, station wagons. I just love them because I grew up with them.
Yes.
So
that
they're so practical.
That Tourer, basically the base of that is a Honda. So
yes,
you would have had that. You would have had this Honda version in the States.
It was.
Bye,
what
John.
was it? You
Thanks
know
for
what
joining.
looks? I was going to say, Simone, what really looks like a Honda Civic is the Triumph Acclaim.
Yes, yeah, that's what it was. But I think that's what it was based on.
So similar. The Triumph Acclaim has 1.3 liter 4-cylinder. The Civic here in the U.S. had a 1.5 liter.
But
it depends on the year of the Civic, man. That car's changed a lot over the years.
It has, yeah. I think they
were
Triumph
almost
Acclaim,
a rectangle on a square when they first came over.
Well, in the early '80s, when the Triumph Acclaim, when British Leyland, Austin Rover, which they became a part of, and Simone, that was, what is it, 3 model years? The Triumph Acclaim.
It wasn't out for long.
No, it wasn't, because I believe if memory serves me correctly, that it was like a bridge to the impending Rover SD3.
It was
Rover 200. Yes,
it was. But the Acclaim only had one engine size.
Right.
If I remember correctly, and it was a 1.3.
It did.
Yeah, so it didn't matter the trim level. It was all 1.3.
Right.
Which is quite poor, really. But it's basically a Japanese car with a Triumph badge on it.
Well, British Leyland, BMC were known for badge engineering.
And you see that,
and you see that today too.
You do.
No, it
very
still
much so.
continues to this day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a never ending cycle.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, it is now 45. It's gone 45 minutes.
Yes.
I'm going to call it. Thank you, everyone, for jumping in and chatting and saying hello. And yeah,
Well,
enjoy
thank you,
the rest of
Simone,
your.
for allowing me to join you.
No problem at all. No problem at all. Thank you as well, Bill.
Yes, take care.
All right. Thanks, everyone, and have a good evening.